Welcome into Three Questions with Ivan Maisel, where Ivan brings his insight on all things college football to us on a weekly basis. They are about to start playing games, so tough decisions have to be made. A tough decision made in Baton Rouge this week. Myles Brennan is leaving college football after finding out he is not the guy at LSU. Ivan, what are your thoughts on this situation?
JD, it's one of those things that we are experiencing. It's really a result of the pandemic. You got a sixth-year guy who probably ready to go on with his life, and if he's not going to play, then keep moving. And a new head coach, older quarterback doesn't fit the scheme. It's not unusual. The part that's unusual is just that we're in this situation, and I think we're going to see a few more of those sixth-year guys sort of quietly go away in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback races across the country are starting to get more and more narrowed down. Which quarterback battle are you watching most closely right now?
Oh, I think like everybody else, I'm really curious what's going on the 40 acres at Texas. Quinn Ewers has such a great reputation. Coming out of high school, it didn't happen at Ohio State. And meanwhile, you got a guy in Hudson Card who has played, who works hard. He's efficient. He's just not as naturally gifted as Ewers. So which one is able to best produce on the field? That's what we're waiting to see. And, it's one of those things we may not get an answer until they play Louisiana Monroe. We may not get an answer until Alabama. But they better be able to play against Alabama.
Yeah, they better have it figured out once they trot out for Series 1 against the Crimson Tide, because there's no half-stepping against Nick Saban and his team. But when it comes to the transfer portal and quarterbacks, a lot of these guys, you would think Quinn Ewers in that group, they don't transfer to be second string or to have a season on the bench. Which transfer quarterback would you say you're expecting the most from in 2022?
Well, let me answer it in two ways. I think specifically Caleb Williams at USC, because he's going with his coach, so he knows the system, and he's going to have talent as good as he had around him in Norman, if not better. He may not get the blocks he had in Norman, and that's the big question for the Trojans. But the other guy I'm really interested in is Spencer Rattler at South Carolina. Is this a guy that can pick himself up, dust himself off, restore his confidence, playing for a coach who knows him, who knew him when he was successful? Shane Beamer was at OU before he took over at South Carolina. I think that's fascinating and would be a great example of how the transfer portal should work if Rattler gets over there and plays as well as he showed he could 2 years ago at OU.
And it's so fascinating to track both of these quarterbacks. Both were in Norman at one point in time, and their tails have both taken them to the transfer portal. But I'm with you. Excited to watch Rattler, excited to watch Williams, both enormously talented. Wish nothing but the best for both of them. Well, Ivan, as always, thank you so much for coming through, dropping some knowledge on us. Folks, tune in every single week as we bring a new line of questioning to Ivan. Ivan, thanks so much. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.